Terry Gilliam know that he's an extraordinary, visionary filmmaker in all sorts of ways, but also really funny. You know, it's just really funny. And I've been so privileged in my life because I went to his house on several occasions to do various projects. And his house is a whole set. It's just like a set. It's bits from Brazil, it's bits from all of his films, like a set all the way around. And there's bits of Baron Munchausen theatre in most of his rooms, you know, so it's an extraordinary place. But he was attracted to the film, the story, because, not surprisingly, he wanted to present the Baron as an English eccentric, a kind of British chap, a little bit sort of, you know, distant from the world, and a bit kind of, well, good lord, you know, and he's a very British character in that way. So the English eccentric suddenly becomes at the heart of the Munchausen story. But for Gilliam, it was also a political story, in the sense that it was a very anti-Thatcher film, anti-Margaret Thatcher. For those of you who don't know, Margaret Thatcher was a British Prime Minister for a long period of time. In some people's minds, one of the great Prime Ministers. She made a great deal of difference, you know. She said there is no such thing as society. And by the time she left, there was no such thing as society. And other people, were fiercely critical of her and felt that she did a terrible amount of damage. Gilliam is on the side of she did a lot of damage. And his version of her was that she knew the price of everything, but the value of nothing. And what he wanted to try and say was that the Baron was a preserver of values, a preserver of dreams, a preserver of romance, a preserver of the things that are human. And it goes right back to the beginning of my talk, where even in that tale from Bourbaki, he's saying, if you can't feel it, then you don't know it. You know? So the whole kind of idea about Munchausen as a felt character, a feeling character, one in touch actually with life and value, is very much at the heart of Gilliam's tale. He sets, of course, Baroque adventures in the age of enlightenment and rationalism. And that's very important because, in many senses, again, as I said at the conference, we live everyday lives dedicated to getting by in everyday ways. But maybe our dreams and our desires and all the kind of things that make us passionate about things and creative about things are the things that really drive us. And partly this is what Gilliam's saying, that we might live in a rational, habit-filled, routine world, but in our hearts and our minds, our desires and our creativity are the things that we most value. And this is what he sees in the character of the Baron. Whether it's theatrical or whether it's a kind of compositive form, but done in old school special effects ways. And I'll show a clip in a minute to do that. But also what it kind of is standing for is a kind of an anti-right-wing stance. It's kind of anti that kind of romanticism for a purpose. Romanticism's got to be for a dream. Romanticism's got to be elevated. And so all of that is at the heart of Gilliam's work. So, I think to that end, what we'll try and do is to show you a clip, and then I can tell you what it tells us about yourselves, and we can drift into the evening dreaming and desiring to be Mr. Munchausen. Let's see if we can show this clip. I did. Let's try and do this. What I wanted to do was to show the clip, which I think, perhaps anyway, I mean, there's many examples in the film, but it's most perhaps connected to our theme here, Anifest, in relation to Carol Zimmer. And let's see if I can get this up and running for you, and I hope you'll see why.
that Sarah really thought she was...
Sorry.
And we had no money, so all I did is blow up the drawings, color them in with felt tip markers, put them on little sliding rails, and pull them back and forth. And I think it's better than our original ideas. It's magical.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, the whole moon sequence it was very instinctive for what we were doing, cutting everything down, simplifying, and ending up making something it's a nice kind of intermission from all of the 3D richness of the piece. Originally, Sean Connery was going to be playing the King of the Moon when it was just Cecil B. DeMille sequence, but having reduced